This is part 2 of our Fishing for Tarpon series. Finding the right location is key. Tarpons are often found in deep channels where currents are strong enough to carry them along without expending too much energy. Watch out for areas where there's an intersection between two or more currents because they create eddies where tarpon love to feed. When it comes to slow trolling for tarpon, you need to ensure that your reel is set up for a slow and steady retrieve. This will help you keep the bait at the right depth and maintain control over your line. Additionally, varying the depth of your bait can also be key to attracting tarpon and getting them to strike. Remember these tips as you prepare for your next slow trolling trip. As you're reeling in your live bait, remember to keep a slow and steady pace to entice the tarpon into biting. Using a slow and steady reel is crucial for live bait fishing, as it allows the bait to move naturally through the water. To ensure your reel is working properly, perform regular maintenance such as cleaning and lubricating it. Additionally, make sure your drag is adjusted correctly so that it provides enough resistance when the tarpon bites. Another important consideration when using a slow and steady reel is controlling the depth of your bait. You can achieve this by adjusting the weight or adding a float to your line. Varying the depth of your bait can help attract tarpon at different levels of the water column, increasing your chances of a bite. If you're looking to up your tarpon fishing game, chumming is a technique worth exploring. By using the right type and amount of chum, you can attract these elusive fish and increase your chances of a successful catch. But it's important to know what kind of chum works best for tarpon and how much to use, so that you don't waste time or bait. With some practice and experimentation, you'll be able to master this effective fishing method. Using chum is an effective way to lure tarpon and increase your chances of a successful tarpon fishing experience. Here are 3 different chumming techniques that you can use to attract tarpon. Surface chumming. This technique involves scattering small pieces of fish or shrimp on the water's surface to create a slick. This slick will attract tarpon, which will then feed on the surface. Bottom chumming. Bottom chumming involves using a weighted container filled with frozen fish parts or ground up baitfish. The container is lowered into the water and left at the bottom where it slowly releases its contents, attracting tarpon towards it. Drift chumming. This technique involves drifting while releasing chunks of baitfish into the water behind your boat. The scent and visual cues from these chunks will attract nearby tarpon towards your boat. Remember to use the right type and amount of chum for your specific fishing location and target species. With these techniques, you'll be able to effectively attract tarpon and increase your chances of catching them with a live bait fishing techniques. To increase your chances of luring in the biggest tarpon, ensure you've chosen the right amount and type of chum for your location and target species. Research chum alternatives to determine what works best for your specific scenario. It's also important to experiment with chumming techniques, such as using a mesh bag or dispersing it slowly over time, to see which method is most effective. When selecting the appropriate type of chum, consider what baitfish are prevalent in the area. For example, if mullet or sardines are abundant, use a corresponding chum made from those fish species. It's essential to use fresh ingredients when making homemade chum because stale or rotten materials can deter tarpon rather than attract them. Additionally, be mindful of the amount of chum you're using. Too much can oversaturate the water and cause tarpon to become disinterested. When attempting to set the hook while using a live bait fishing for tarpon, you'll want to keep a close eye on your line tension and remain patient until you feel the fish's weight before making any sudden movements. Mastering hook setting is crucial when targeting this elusive species. Tarpon have hard mouths, so it's important to ensure that your hook is firmly set in their jaw before reeling them in. Timing the hook set is equally important. When you feel a tarpon take your live bait, wait for a few seconds before striking. This gives the fish enough time to fully engulf the bait and turn it around in their mouth, increasing the chances of a successful hook set. If you strike too early, there's a higher chance that the fish will spit out the bait without getting hooked. Once you've felt the weight of the fish and set your hook properly, be prepared for an intense fight. Tarpon are known for their acrobatic displays and incredible strength. Keep your rod tip up and let them run if they need to, but also be ready to reel them back in when they tire themselves out. Fighting tarpon can be both physically demanding and incredibly rewarding. Mastering hook setting techniques and timing your strikes are essential when using a live bait fishing for tarpon. With patience and practice, you'll soon be able to confidently set hooks on these powerful game fish, but remember that catching one is just half of the battle. Maintain tension on your line and keep your rod bent to increase the chance of hooking a tarpon when you are using a live bait. Hook setting is crucial in this technique, and timing is everything. Once you feel a tarpon take the bait, it's important to set the hook quickly and with enough force to penetrate its tough jaw. However, be careful not to yank too hard or too soon as this may cause the fish to spit out the bait. Reel tension also plays an important role when using a live bait for tarpon. Too much pressure can cause the fish to break off, while too little pressure can result in a slack line that allows the fish to spit out the bait. When you feel a tarpon taking your bait, gradually increase reel tension while maintaining a tight line and keeping your rod bent. This will help tire out the fish and make it easier for you to bring it closer for landing. To further improve your chances of success, use proper reeling techniques such as pumping and reeling when necessary. We would like to thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and have a look at our in-depth blog on fishing for tarpon. It has every topic about these magnificent creatures. Goodbye for now. See you in the next video in our Fishing for Tarpon series.